Let's discuss about Lidwoorden in Nederlands, that is, articles in Dutch language in this Learn Dutch Grammar with I Fechner lesson. There are three Lidwoorden in Nederlands, and those are da, het, and en. It is pronounced as un. Da, het, and un. We use a Lidwoord in a sentence usually as Lidwoord plus naamwoord. Now the question arises, why do we need to understand the concepts of Lidwoorden in Netherlands? And the answer is that in order to speak and write the proper Dutch, we need to memorize da woorden and the het woorden. For example, in Dutch, for this and that, we can either use deze for this, die for that, or dit for this and that for that. It depends upon the Lidwoords da or het. Similarly, for which one, everyone, we can use welke, elke, or iedere, or we can use welk, elk of ieder, depending upon da or het Lidwoord. Similarly, for our, we can use onze of ons, depending upon if there is a da Lidwoord with naamwoord or da or het Lidwoord with the naamwoord. So I have already told you that you need to remember or memorize the words which start with da and those words which start with het. But luckily there are some shortcuts, there are some rules which we can follow to guess which words start with da and which word starts with het. First, let's look at da woorden. Lidwoord da is used with mannelijke en vrouwelijke zelfstandige naamwoorden, that is noun. It means that da Lidwoord is used with those nouns which have a gender, that is, they are either they have a mannelijk or vrouwelijk. They have a man's gender or a woman's gender. For example, we use the Lidwoord da with different words: da kind, da trein, da bus, da jongen, and these naamwoorden, which are da kind, da trein, bus, and jongen, they are the mannelijk or vrouwelijke zelfstandig naamwoorden. Okay, now some tips. When do we use da with the naamwoorden? We use da almost every time with words for persons. It's almost every time. For example, da man, da vrouw, which is for woman, da jongen, which is for a boy. And you use da with the naamwoorden when the naamwoord ends with ing, ie, ije, heid, tat, a, nis, este of schaap, or da of ta, then these words are mostly vrouwelijk, and you can use da with these naamwoorden which ends with enk, e, a, e, ye, and so on. So you have to memorize these words. And name of fruits, vegetables, plants, mountains, and rivers always start with da. So these are some of the tricks, but you will be able to use the correct words as you speak and use a lot of Dutch. Now, let's see when we use deze and die for this and that. When we have da woorden, that is naamwoorden starting with da, then we use deze for this and that for die for that. For example, we have got a word da jongen, the boy. With the boy, we will use deze jongen and die jongen, and we will not say dit jongen and that jongen because this word starts with da. And in the plural form, that is meervoud form, the word becomes da jongens, and we can use deze jongens or die jongens for this and that. Similarly, for which one, everyone, we use welke for which and iedere of elke for everyone. For example, we have got a word da bus, the bus. And if you want to ask which bus, then we will say welke bus, welke bus. We have to add a at the end. Iedere bus, every bus. Elke bus, every bus. Similarly, if the word starts with da, then we use onze for our. For example, da train, onze train. Da bus, onze bus. And now, let's discuss about the het woorden, or the words which start with the Lidwoord het. They are called the het woorden. Lidwoord het is used with neuter nouns. That is, they haven't gotten any gender. And neuter nouns are called onzijdige, zelfstandige naamwoorden in Dutch. For example, het huis, het boek, het kind. Now we have to remember the words which start with het, but there are some tricks which we can use to guess if the word starts with het of da. For example, in Dutch we use kleine woorden for smaller things, for lovely things. For example, if we have got a 5-minute YouTube film or movie, then we will call it as a filmtje. From film to filmtje. Similarly, tas is a bag and tasje is a smaller bag. So these are the klein woorden, and I have discussed about these klein woorden in another tutorial. I will leave the link in the description and you can also visit that tutorial. And klein woorden usually ends with ye, te ye, pi ye of e te ye of a te ye, and they are always the het woorden. So if you are using for kleine woorden, that is the small words or the smaller things, for smaller things, or for example, we say schatje to a kind. That is schat is an uh, my love, lovely, and schatje lovely for a kind, for a boy, for a girl, for a kid. Kind is a kid. So you use het woorden with verkleinwoorden, and words which end with esma, mant, sal, and are always het woorden. Similarly, words which start with be, ge, ver, and ont are always het woorden. And names of languages, sports, games, and metals are het woorden. And remember that if we use the meervoud of the het woorden, then they become da woorden. For example, we have got het kind, but da kinderen, het house, but da huizen. So you can use da with the meervoud of the het woorden and the da woorden. For the het woorden, we use dit and dat for this and that. For example, het house, to refer a house in a sentence, we will use dit house of that house. Dit house is van mij. This is my house. That house is van hem. That is his house. And we have already discussed that with meervoud naamwoorden, we use da huizen, and therefore we will use deze huizen of die huizen. But remember, if we want to say these are houses, those are houses, then we will use dit zijn huizen and dat zijn huizen for the het word. This is a very important point. Similarly, for which one, everyone, we use welk, ieder, or elk for the het woorden instead of welke, iedere, of elke, which we use with the da wordens. So for het woorden, het words which start with het, we use welk, ieder, and ieder and elk. For example, het kind, to refer a kind in a sentence, we use welk kind, ieder kind, every kind, elk kind, every kind. So there is no difference between ieder and elk. And we use ons with het word and onze with da woorden. So met het dak, with the dak is the upper side of your house, it becomes ons dak. Not onze dak, but ons dak, to refer to a dak. And now let's discuss about an Lidwoord. An is pronounced as un. So this is un house. Un jongen, un meisje, un man, un vrouw. For example, in English we say a house, a man, a boy, a girl, a baby. And in Nederlands, in Dutch, we use own. For example, own house, own auto, and own book. So in a sentence we can use all the three Lidwoorden or two Lidwoorden. For example, the jongen speelt met een football. It means the boy is playing with a football. So the boy is the jongen in Dutch, and a is on in Dutch. Similarly, the man leest een book. So in Dutch, you can either this sentence means the boy is playing with the football, or let me write it, the boy plays with a football. So in Nederlands we have got 8 tenses and not 16 tenses, just like in English. And so we have got another example, the man leest een book. It means the man reads a book, or it can also mean the man is reading a book. So it depends upon the reference and the sentences before and after this sentence, if it means the man reads a book or the man is reading a book. So here for the man we use the man. The man leest een boek. The man leest een boek. Similarly, the vrouw zingt een liedje. The woman is singing a poem. So we use an Lidwoord like this in our sentences. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions or comments, then please use the comment section below. I'm Fechtner, and I will see you next time. Until then, take care, keep learning, keep enjoying. Good day.